I just wanted to share a story with you I've never made public before. Different reasons for not making it public, um, but I wanted to share it because it seems to be coming up every once in a while, and I thought maybe I better kind of compile it together. So, uh, at Sound of Stars Frequencies, we get some pretty out there stories from members and users sometimes, and the best ones I keep. Some of them are stories that are outside my frame of reference, certainly outside my intentional design. Not all stories submitted are from users who claim whatever they've experienced have happened because of SOS. And in this particular situation, this is a time travel story that was expressed to me by one of our members back in 2012. Now, this time travel story, the member user wasn't claiming was induced by our tech. And I just want to clarify something. I'm really happy that people find the frequency technology that I create to be meaningful and helpful. And so when people report that they're being helped a little bit in some meaningful way to them, then that's just good news. But I sometimes get just outside the box stories from people that the effects they're experiencing are not something I designed into the track, or it's highly unusual. Like, it's just they're having an unusual event for some reason, and they seem to think that whatever. So anyway, this lady had noticed that some members, when they were playing some of the frequencies, seemed to feel that there was a perceived distortion in time. So they were just like, they just felt like when they had listened to some frequencies that there was something off about the timing of time flowing around them. And so I think she just felt free to share a story with us, because I think she was hoping that we'd be able to provide her with some kind of explanation or feedback. Anyway, it's a pretty interesting story. It's unlike most of the urban legend stuff I've heard. I mean, there's some similarities with some things, kind of. But in the comments section of the video below, you'll find a link. And in that link, the story is detailed. There's follow-up. We're discussing it. She talks about what happened to her. I'm going to just give you like a basic summary here. Then there's also, I put a web page together. It just kind of documents different pieces of this. And so this happened to her about 20 years ago, and it seems to have been related possibly to a curious piece of mind machine technology. A lot of you are familiar with, there's like mind machines in the market. There has been for some time. They're like a light sound machine. You put this thing on and then it strobes and it blinks. Maybe you're playing some kind of pulsing hum or frequency. And then the goal is that you just kind of like have a psychedelic trip out, right? So you hallucinate or whatever, maybe you feel better. Anyway, there was a very weird mind machine variant that came out a long time ago. And what it was it sounded like it was a very bulky, like a helmet. Unlike most mind machines that are digital, it had some kind of an analog component. And the thing about it is, if I remember correctly, it seemed to have a primitive biofeedback sensor. So in other words, the strobing of the sound and light was being created by what sounds like a fairly accurate analog signal, but it was a signal that would vary in biological response to the operator, which is really different. I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot of light sound machines out there with a biofeedback type capacity. So She listed the specific equipment. She had a really bizarre experience, like what to her felt like a very definite shift in time and space. And it's a pretty trippy story. I mean, you could make a movie out of what she described. In the comments section, you'll find a link to that story. And I tried to find the equipment that she described. I mean, she gave me the exact model and make of what the device she was using that she thinks might have been related to the event she had, because apparently the event she had happened shortly after using this device. So I was not able to find what looks like a very early prototype of the model brand that she used, but I did manage to track down who the manufacturer was and other machines that were very similar, likely to the one that she used, but they look like they were simplified. The ones that I found look like they were simplified from probably the original circuit and device. And I was not able to find the helmet type apparatus. I was able to find, some of the main components that would be similar, but I wanted to send it off. Thought it might be interesting. Again, it's a topic that comes up sometimes, so I thought I would just share that with you guys. So I hope you enjoy. If you have any thoughts or things you want to send, feel free to just shoot me an email off. But that's it. Docstar is over and out.